Chasing Tales, Episode 57, Battlelines.
Welcome back to Chasing Tales. This week, Jack is going to see Cyric for answers. What will he tell him? Will Feline be okay? Will life in Starlight ever be back to normal? Let's find out.
In Thebia, a portal opens, and Cyric and Otto step out. They sent Tannic back to the workshop. A rough military man greets them in uniform.
General.
How have you been? You're on one of my men after all.
Okay, Ben. This is Otto. He's a Haven tech that we've adopted when Ald was freed.
Now we can finally get on with beating the Habernack.
Otto shuffles nervously. Ben punches the angel in the shoulder jovially.
Of course you will. I'm here to help.
So, Ben, how goes the war so far?
We've been wearing the turns here in the south for some time. When we heard that changed management, we decided to keep pushing. But then the power machines went down. We know about the armor adjustment and all of that, but we can't go without power. We don't have enough magic to support it.
You're powering it remotely? How?
I'll show you what needs to be done. Come on. You guys hungry? I know Portal Hopper can work up an appetite. Let's head to the mess and see what they got today. I kind of like the rustic taste of food cooked by our fire instead of radiation, so it's not all that bad with the power being down.
The clean military base is coated in a bland shade of green. It's tidy and seems to be well run. Even though the power is out, things seem to go on as scheduled. As they come to the mess hall, the smell of food hits them as the doors swing open. A cadre of corporals delivering dinner to the officers appear. They talk casually among themselves, but stop to acknowledge the general, though they can't salute.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Evening, General.
The corporals pass and they can go inside.
Such a large mess must mean a large fighting force.
Thanks to the mandatory system, we got every healthy body of age to the tune of 50,000 grunts on the ground and 50,000 in reserve. Air support about 20 flying robots, and the Stompers, even though there are only 8 of them, they do a hell of a lot of damage. We also been loaned 300 Dawn Riders. The Griffins work great with the field generators. We got their armors adjusted so they have no problem changing system. This is something our boys made. It's something that detects the base and adjusts automatically.
I would like to have a look at your robotics in this device.
No can do. That's fully classified.
I can vouch for him.
Look, we just aren't willing to share this tech with allies.
I see. So, what needs prepared?
Let's get back to dinner first. Then get you two bedded down, and we'll deal with all this in the morning.
Cyric shrugs. They line up to get dinner and the enlisted men clear off to let them through. And then they queue right back up as before. Cyric, Otto, and Ben go back to the VIP barracks to eat in the main hall on the bottom floor. Suddenly there are alarms, and the noise of soldiers mobilizing. The general races off to find out the problem. Cyric and Otto stand outside holding their trays. Soon the alarms stop. Some MPs wrestle Jack up to them.
Sir, this person says he knows you.
Ben, this is Jack, the opener.
There is some unease about his presence suddenly. The MP, holding Jack, lets go and wipes his hands hastily on his uniform. One of the younger soldiers clasps the token of Munda, which he kisses and returns to his pocket.
What brings you here, sir? It's not often backluck visits.
I won't be here long. I just need Cyric for a moment, and I'll be off.
Jack attempts to move Cyric out of earshot, but Ben always seems to be a little too close.
Cyric, they kicked me out of Starlight because of the accidents. Everyone's fine. Talon and Aislinn have been handling things. But I need something to do.
Cyric stares off into the night sky for a moment.
I know. Why don't you and your bad luck go to Ald's camp in Terra? Mix in with the water caravan.
Then what?
How large has your radius of effect gotten?
I know it covers every corner of Starlight.
Ben, what size camp has Ald got? Have you seen any reports?
Smaller than your system for sure. He should have no problem covering Ald's camp.
Go be the wrench in his machine, Jack. Just be yourself.
Jack smirks and shakes his keys. His disappearance is met with a collective sigh of relief.
You should have told him to take notes.
In Starlight, Talon sits next to Feline's bed, taking her pulse. Ace is in the other room comforting the other aspects, trying to keep his mind busy. They don't need updates, but it makes Aislinn feel better to give them. He stands near the stove looking for what Feline had been working on. Long blood-red thorns are scattered across the counter. Spots of her now oxidized blood dot the wood. Poison puncture. But how? She was always so careful. Serana glides into the room. A tap-tap of her walking stick clicks as she navigates.
Come away from there, Aislinn. That will kill you dead where you stand if you mess with them. Feline will be all right. The poison just has to work through. Would you like to do us a favor?
Of course, Serena. Anything.
Could you fetch us some dinner?
Absolutely. I'll be back from the lodge in no time.
Serana listens to his feet until the door closes. She sighs in relief.
He's got it bad, doesn't he?
I hope she pulls through, for all our sakes. Especially poor Aislinn.
Pink and Bayard sit counting the gold they have. This should be more than enough for the changes. Will you take this to Melbourne tomorrow when you go back to work?
Happy to, my dear.
The food on the stove begins to steam. Bayard stands and moves to the skillet, flipping the vegetables.
You want them tender crisp? Come, this is what they look like now.
Pink crosses to observe the food. She nods. He opens the oven and sticks his hand in to test the temperature. Then he pokes the chicken with a long fork.
Not too much longer, and this will be ready. Cordon bleu and spring vegetables.
How do you do that thing with the skillet and nothing falls out?
Come to me and I will show you.
He lays his hand on hers.
Now relax and let me lead you.
They flip the pan together and it works. Pink tries it alone and poor Bayard is covered in hot vegetables.
Les légumes short.
He flies out of his apron.
This is funny, eh?
I'm sorry. He playfully flings the vegetables out of the apron at her. Oh, okay, I give. I'm sorry. I'm not good at some things.
Nonsense. You just keep practicing and I'll have you flipping crepes like the king's chef. Now you have to cook more vegetables. Get chopping.
Jack sits in the shelter of a tent flap, miserable, cold, and damp. Nothing much to do but watch the rain make mud of everything. He's tired, he's hungry, and most of all, he's afraid. Someone nudges him. Jack looks up to see an old man offering him a flask.
It'll keep the chill out.
Jack takes a swig and hands it back.
Thank you.
Yeah, tough business this, eh? You with the old army, or just a scavenger like me?
I'm nobody. Just a fella down on his luck.
Ah, well, here, let me give you a little for my dinner. Won't eat it anyways.
Thanks, stranger. What's your name?
Most folks, they just call me Tim.
Jack.
He clasps hands with him and they sit and eat together. Somewhere in the distance, a tent catches fire. There's some confusion and shouting, but they manage to get it out and have another tent up in no time. Soon the camp's quiet. Jack balls up his jacket to sleep on. A blanket covers him from someone else's kindness.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, sure. Sleep well. Dawn will seem early. Jack makes a new friend. How long will his fortune hold out? Will Feline pull through? What is Otto in Thebia to do? Find out the answers to these questions and more next time on Chasing Tales, Episode 58, Redirection.
Chasing Tales, Episode 57, Battlelines. Hey everyone, Pink Salmon here. Welcome back, and thanks for listening. If you could like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment, it would be greatly appreciated. Now it's time to thank the Buttermakers. I narrate and play myself. Gingy voices Aislinn and Cyric. Alamo plays Bayard. Guide voices Jack. Creeper plays Otto and Soldier 2. Christine voices Serana. Prony plays the announcer, Soldier 1 and 10. Blue voices Soldier 3. Steve voices the MP. Pat voices Ben. All music and sound effects are sourced from YouTube, except guns. Those come from Creeper. This is an original production, written and produced by Pink Salmon. The Gingerbread Man is story advisor. We hope you've enjoyed the story so far. If you'd like to support the project, you may donate to the links in the description. Thanks, and come back for the next episode of Chasing Tales. This is Pink, signing off. See you on the clip side.